I lost more than 50 pounds last year, while also gaining a somewhat substantial amount of muscle in the process. All that was done while I was eating out, enjoying my life, and overall not restricting myself too much. So if you're a young man who wants to build an aesthetic physique, you've come to the right place. This is the only nutrition guide you need. In this video, I'm giving you the full blueprint to nutrition. Whether you're fat, skinny, or skinny fat like I was, there's gonna be no bullshit. Just calories, nutrition tracking, protein, body recomposition for your specific needs, and even some examples of what to eat, so that you can achieve your full potential, so that you can ascend. Let's begin. In my last video, I've talked about the two most important systems for getting in shape. One of them was nutrition and nutrition tracking. I believe that nutrition is the most important aspect when it comes to actually transforming your body. Training is very important too. Look at it this way. Nutrition is what fuels progress, and exercise is the engine that drives it. I'll actually make a full guide to training as my next video, so subscribe and stay tuned for that. I'm a firm believer that systems are the best way to achieve your goals. You first need to understand the basics and the principles of how everything works so that you're not tied to one specific diet, to one specific plan that you bought off somebody, and so that you can build a personalized system that works for you based on the core principles of nutrition. So the basic principles of nutrition are calories in versus calories out. I know you've probably heard a lot about it, but I'll explain it anyway. Calories is just the unit of energy. Every day your body uses an X amount of calories. That's called your maintenance, which is comprised of your baseline, the energy you use by just existing, called your basal metabolic rate, and your activity, which uses extra energy throughout the day. If you consume more energy than you use, well, your body is gonna store that energy as fat. If you consume less energy than you use, your body will use the fat as your energy source. All food consists of macronutrients, that is, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Protein is the one that we're gonna focus on and the one that is most important for us. Protein is what our bodies use to actually build and maintain muscle mass. It is crucial to eat a certain amount of protein every single day because consistent protein intake is what dictates your muscle building. Every single day you need to eat between 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That range is enough for most normal people, and it's gonna be enough for you if you're not Ronnie Coleman. And if you are, hi Ronnie, I'm a big fan. And we'll of course adjust that goal specifically for your goals. And that's a great transition to actually defining our goals. Our goal is building an aesthetic physique, building an aesthetic body. That means low body fat percentage, so 10 to 15% depending on who you ask, abs, V-taper, and focusing on those attractive muscles. I'd say a very good percentage to be at is 10 to 12% body fat, but this is harder to sustain for most people, especially year-round, but it's very, very possible to get to. 13 to 15% is more comfortable and definitely still looks good. For example, for me, I'm at about 16 to maybe 17% body fat right now, and I'm just finishing cutting down to around 15, 14, about that level. And obviously the way you get there will depend. Not only is body fat percentage important, but also your muscle size, obviously. The more muscle you have, the more aesthetic you are. I guess to a certain point of, becoming a pro bodybuilder, but you're definitely not accidentally gonna get there. And the way you get to this aesthetic goal will depend on your current situation. So you can be either skinny, fat, or skinny fat. This is what this will probably look like. And not to any offense, but statistically, you're probably skinny fat if you're watching this video. This is where I was when I was just starting out, so that's totally alright. So, your first priority, if you're fat or skinny fat, needs to be to lose that fat, to lower that body fat percentage, while also building or at the very least maintaining muscle if you already have enough on your frame, which you probably don't. And if you're skinny, already at a low enough body fat percentage, your first priority needs to be building more muscle, adding size. I'll of course explain each process in more detail in the next step. It's also good to know what's your current level when it comes to training in the gym. If you're watching this video, you're probably gonna be either a newbie or a beginner. Don't worry, the process for you is gonna be the same. It's just that you need to expect to see different results at different rates of speed. Newbies are generally going to see results faster, especially when it comes to training, especially when it comes to the gym. If you're just at a higher body fat percentage, for example, and you're losing fat, you can be losing fat at a much faster rate than a person at a lower body fat percentage can. And just for your information, newbie is anything, in the first, I'd say 6 months of consistent training, and beginner is everything up to like a year and a half, 2 years of consistent training in the gym. Honestly, I'm still not sure if I am an intermediate myself, so don't get your hopes up. Stay grounded. Now that we've defined our goals, we need to find our starting point. So we need to find our maintenance calories. For that, we need to go to tdeecalculator.com. There we need to input our height, weight, and activity level. The best way to gauge your activity level is gonna be like that. Sedentary is anything under 5k steps a day and minimal cardio, so think like a desk job, like your boy here. It's alright to be here. I was there for a long time, but you do need to understand that the more you move, the more calories you're gonna burn and the higher your maintenance is gonna be. Light activity is anything between 5 to 8k steps a day and 1 to 3 hard, intense workouts a week. Moderate is, 8 to 11k steps a day, maybe even higher, and noticeable activity. For example, like working the floor. Also, you can add some regular high intensity cardio sessions, and yeah, that's a pretty good guess that you're at a moderate activity level. Anything over that is heavy, but I doubt you're there yet, and that's alright. Here, I recommend that you underestimate it a little bit, especially if you're cutting, because the difference at activity level, the difference in those 200 to 300 calories can be the difference between you being in a deficit and you being at maintenance. This is just an estimate, but it's a pretty good one. It's based on a lot of data, and we can adjust our maintenance later on when we figure out and we actually get the data about ourselves from the feedback loop that we set up. Now that you have the magic number, let's put it to good use. Now you gotta know how to actually track your nutrition. How do I know how many calories I'm eating in a day? Well, that's what you use nutrition tracking for. It's a science in and of itself, honestly. It's deserving of its own video, and I am gonna make it on how to track everything, on how to weigh your food, how to properly track your cooking. But to start, you just need a food scale and an app, and maybe 10 minutes of free time a day. Your goal is to try to weigh all the food that you ingest, everything, and input this into the app. Also, where possible, try to actually scan the label of the food that you're using. All of the nutrition tracking apps have this feature for free, I think, and some apps do have a pretty good basics database, like chicken breast is chicken breast everywhere. The app I use is called Yazio. I use the free tier, and it's probably the best option available here in Europe. It has the most extensive database. It has very good features in the free tier, and overall, I don't know, I just like it the most. That's what I've been using for literally more than a year now. I can really show you, but look at my streak. Here's the video. If you're sitting here wondering, but how am I gonna track all of my food? How am I gonna weigh all of that? I don't even know what I'm eating. Well, maybe it's time to start cooking yourself. I actually got into cooking myself when I started tracking my food, and it's been a big hobby of mine ever since. I hear you asking, yes, you can track your mom's cooking as well, but your estimates of the weight of the cooked food will probably be pretty inaccurate, so that means that the best way to go about it is to actually join her when she's cooking, to ask her questions, to weigh stuff with her, so you know the weight of the raw ingredients that went into the dish. After that, you can honestly just use ChatGPT and put all the raw ingredients that you written down, and it'll help you gauge the amount of raw ingredients you used per portion that you ate. I'll actually give you some examples of food at the end of the video that you can add to your diet or you can eat more of, and some foods that you can cut out or minimize in your diet. Again, the subject of nutrition tracking by itself is such an extensive topic, there's so much nuance that it's deserving of its own video alone. Alright, now we've got the systems and the basics out of the way. Now, what should be your specific plan for your situation? Well, let's start off with if you're fat or skinny fat. Most of you will be here. This is where I was, and this is where I'm the most knowledgeable at. And don't worry, I'll talk about skinny in the next section. So our first priority here is going to be losing fat, losing this body fat percentage, aka cutting, while building, or at the very least maintaining our muscle. And building muscle while losing fat is very possible. I mean, look at me, that's what I did, especially if you're a beginner to a newbie, even if you've already had your newbie gains. It's just obviously going to be less effective than if you're in a surplus. And that's why dialing in your training is super important. So we're going to put ourselves in a calorie deficit. That means that we're going to consume less calories than our maintenance is. So what you're going to do is put yourself in a 200 to 400 calorie deficit every single day. It's a range because there is a built-in buffer in that. Our goal is to try and eat at a 400 calorie deficit every day, but sometimes this will go up to a 200 calorie deficit. Sometimes you'll eat more, but just try to reach your 400 calorie deficit goal. For me, at my current activity level, that sits at around 1800 calories a day, which is not a lot. Honestly, it's alright to even go up to maintenance sometimes when you're hanging out with friends, when you're at a social event. It's fine. It's not the end of the world if you overeat a little bit. Just know that it's going to delay your progress a bit, but also, I mean, you want to live life, right? What's important to understand here is that less is more. It's important to be in a relatively small deficit and make gradual progress. There's no need to rush. We're building a lifelong lifestyle change here, not ping pong dieting. Not only is too aggressive of a deficit totally unsustainable for a long time, especially for a beginner. And our goal here is to learn to sustain change to our lifestyle for a long period of time. But also an aggressive deficit makes it harder to build and maintain muscle, and actually loses you muscle while you're in that deficit. And generally, it just makes you less effective in training and in life. And while we're in a deficit, we want to eat towards the higher end of our protein range. So I'd say 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. Because when we're in the deficit, our body actually needs more protein to sustain and build that muscle. Also, as a bonus, protein is very satiating, so you're going to be full for longer. So this is basically the system for losing fat. Tell me in the comments if I'm forgetting anything, but I think I've covered everything that I know. We continue like that for however long we need to reach our desired body fat percentage. Remember, it was about 10 to 15. And really, don't forget to train harder in the gym. A video about that is coming soon. Subscribe. Stay tuned. Now that we know what to do if you're fat, you need to know what to do if you're skinny, if you're already at a low enough body fat percentage. This will be a bit simpler. It's not going to be easier. It's just going to be a bit simpler. So your main focus should be, instead of lowering your body fat percentage, should be building new muscle and building size. For that, you need to be in a calorie surplus. You could be at maintenance, but a calorie surplus is going to be more effective, which just means that you're going to eat more calories than your maintenance is. We're going to put ourselves in a 200 to 300 calorie surplus, not 2,000 to 3,000. You're not Ronnie Coleman. Hello again. Research actually shows that a small surplus almost fully maximizes muscle building potential. If you're going to eat in a bigger surplus, well, you're just going to build more fat and not get too much extra benefit from it. And you need to understand that you're going to build fat either way. And it's alright, that's part of the process of bulking. That is important to maximize our muscle building potential and build muscle as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. Because unfortunately, muscle building is a lot slower than losing fat, or at the very least, depending how much you need to lose. For example, if you're in a deficit that we discussed earlier, 200 to 400 calories, you're going to be losing about 0.5 to 1 pound of fat per week. And in the surplus, you're going to gain a maximum of 0.2 to 0.5 pounds of muscle a week, which is a big difference. And that's why it sometimes is harder to go from skinny to muscular, because it just takes a long time and you need to work hard throughout all of that time. We also obviously want to focus on protein just like we did when we were losing weight. But while being a surplus, we can actually afford to eat a little bit less protein per pound of body weight. So the lower end of the range, so 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, is probably going to be enough. It's fine to eat more. I can probably easily eat like 200 grams of protein per 2200 calories. But for general health, I don't recommend eating too much protein. And also I recommend having a healthy amount of fats and carbs in your diet as well, because fats are very important for regulating your hormones and carbs are important for the sustained energy throughout the day. And now you keep doing this process until you build enough muscle, until you're satisfied, which you're not going to be, believe me, or you get to too high of body fat percentage. So let's say, 18 to 20% is where I would stop the bulk. Then you just follow nutrition advice for losing fat and rinse and repeat. This is basically all of nutrition summed up. So now you might be asking yourself, but what foods should I be eating? Well, there are some foods you can try to focus on in your diet more. You can try to add more in your diet, but you do need to start studying labels of the foods in your local shops or the foods that your mom buys. I usually tend to choose lower calorie, higher protein alternatives to normal foods, especially if you're cutting, but even if you're not, it's just going to be more effective that way and you're going to be able to get more protein in the calories that you consume daily. So here are the foods that I would focus on your diet. For the leanest sources of protein, I recommend chicken breast, tuna, lean ground beef, eggs, low-fat Greek yogurt, low-fat dairy, and already made high-protein products. And also, surprisingly, sliced ham and turkey. They're pretty good. If you're fine with less lean foods, if you want to have a bit more fats in your diet, a bit more healthy fats in your diet, I would focus on stuff like steaks, chicken thighs, honestly, a lot of other forms of meat, so duck, lamb, they're pretty high in fat. Eggs as well. I know I put them in the leanest source of protein, but eggs have a lot of fat compared to other sources of protein. But still, eggs is like the meta, is like the best. I love eggs. I eat like 20 a day. And you can also eat full-fat dairy, which is a bit healthier for you, I guess. Now, for the sources of carbs that I would focus on, there are the go-to three. It's rice, potatoes, and oats. I genuinely eat oats, potatoes, and rice every single day, like nonstop. Every breakfast is oats for me. Almost every big meal is either rice or potatoes. For fat sources, I kind of ignore them for now because they're not the most important in building an aesthetic physique and actual bodybuilding. We don't really need them for our goals, but for general health, I really recommend getting enough fats in your diet. And you can sort of substitute it with like stuff like extra virgin olive oil. Okay, that was almost the full basic guide to nutrition that I could come up with. This is what got me the progress that you can see today, and this is what I believe works and I've seen with my own eyes work for other people. Again, I'm a firm believer that fully tracking everything and building systems is the most important thing that you can do on your journey. I'll of course make all the videos that I talked about before, a guide to training, a guide to actually tracking your food physically, you know, with an app and scales and stuff. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. Love you. Stay strong. Beep 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 beep. Epic transition.